Salve moçada, aqui é o Moraes, bem-vindo ao meu canal de jogatinas e hoje vamos conferir aqui mais um game EDITH FINCH, o que restou de EDITH FINCH. Estamos aqui no iniciozinho, o título do game já se mandando embora no horizonte e pelo visto aqui o game não tem nenhum menu. É um game do qual eu não sei muito bem a história, sei que controlamos EDITH e precisamos solucionar alguns mistérios referentes à sua família, os quais todos morreram de mortes estranhas. Vamos lá, estou conseguindo já movimentar ela aqui, um game em primeira pessoa. Eu que não sou muito de primeira pessoa, estou jogando em segundo game. Recentemente zerei o Resident Evil 7 e agora vamos com esse aqui. Estamos aqui numa balsa e vamos lá. A mochila aqui tem um banco. Tem um livro aqui, ó. Seu diário dela. Nem sei qual os comandos aqui que mexe. O R1 ela
A lot of
abre
this
a
isn't going
página.
to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Vou começar do começo com a casa. Não consegui pegar direito ali aquele início.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Um game que já, como dá pra ver, tem as legendas em português, das quais aparecem aleatoriamente pelo cenário. Por enquanto eu não consigo
I lived
correr.
here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
L1 aproxima, o L2 também. O R2 não faz nada e o R1 por enquanto não faz nada também. Aqui eu entrei no... tem aqui as opções, ó. Opções. Controle de câmera normal, retícula não, efeitos sonoros. Novo jogo. Jogar. E aqui eu acho que é a árvore de genealógica. E ali é Edit.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Eu não consigo pegar as cartinhas.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Foda que eu tenho que ficar procurando a legenda. Tá aqui, ó. Eu não tinha voltado deste o funeral do meu irmão Leon. Não ultrapasse. Dá pra ver os pés dela, né? Primeiro jogo em primeira pessoa que dá pra ver um pedaço do corpo, que não seja só as mãos.
mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Já tem dois caminhos aqui para eu... Bom, deixa eu ir por aqui. Eu acho que o caminho certo é esse aqui, eu acho. Vamos ver. Se ela corresse seria bem melhor. Tá, aqui é um mapa.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
E um viadinho lá na frente. Deixa eu voltar, que dá pra descer lá. Ela corre muito estranho. Ela anda muito estranho. Alguns folhetos de alguém desaparecido. Acho que não tem mais nada. Não sei para que o jogo me deixa vir para um lugar que não tem nada.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Tem uma cesta de basquete ali na frente. Acho que eu vou conseguir voltar lá pra cima por aqui.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Casinha bem sinistra. A música tá muito alta. tinha um Bambi. Ah, tá ali, ó, o Bambi. Foi embora. Um sapo cururu. EDITH FINCH. Tá desaparecido. Vamos olhar a
As a
garagem
child,
primeiro.
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
A legenda some muito rápido.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
É, tem bastante latas de salmão. Um livro de receitas.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Dá-lhe mais lata de sardinha.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Nossa porta trancada e selada com aquelas espumas. Tá, será que eu subo a escada primeiro? Vou olhar aqui embaixo primeiro.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Tem livro pra caramba, hein?
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
O Free Willy.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Vamos lá olhar a porta que está aberta. Onde parece ter o desenho de um tubarão. Na parede.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Isso aqui é um lugar.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Legal a parede. Um tubarão-baleia. Uma casa. Mais um tubarão-baleia. Um vagão.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Passagens secretas.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Estamos com a Molly? Ração do gerbil.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Tinha uns cocôzinhos ali, ela comeu uma cenourinha com cocô.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Eu posso sair. Bom, tem duas portas. A estrela do mar ainda tá ali. Tem um peixinho. Pensei em... Tá, não tem ação aqui? Tem uma bolinha. Ah,
I
aqui ó.
thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Vai querer comer o peixinho? Aqui é o banheiro.
I kept eating and eating.
Credo.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Ainda bem que não tem nada aqui, né?
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I
Ué?
was a cat.
Era um gato. Não pegou o passarinho? Ué? Ele virou um gato? Tá, eu posso ir pra ir outro lugar ou não? Wow.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Ih, mas caiu.
Suddenly, I was an owl.
Ué?
First,
Vai virar uma
all I
coruja?
heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Ih, peguei o coelhinho.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. a mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Tubarão. Sim.
I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Se eu tivesse saído lá pela porta, não ia ter acontecido isso aqui tudo, né? Eu vou mais pro fundo, não, né? Meio que direcionado o negócio.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Cadê? Cadê o leão marinho? Ah, tá lá. Eu quero descer, como é que eu faço pra descer? Às vezes desce, às vezes não desce. Ah, tá lá. Peguei ou não peguei? Não, não peguei.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Virou uma cobra?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. quiet.
É, escada eu não subo. Ah, aquela escada não subia, mas essa sim. Vou pegar o cara? Ih, peguei o cara.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Ah, tinha uma... Ah, não deu pra ver.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Ixi, eu sou uma cobra?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ih, saiu na privada.
I got closer and closer.
Né? Voltei pro quarto. Tá. Ah, tem um negócio aqui, ó.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
É pela janela mesmo.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Far Cry, na real, eu acho que eu até tenho ele ali na minha biblioteca, mas eu não joguei nenhum deles. Nunca joguei Far Cry. Ó, quero sair desse balanço. Quem sabe eu jogo mais pra frente. Mas valeu aí. Um descanso aí, uma boa noite.
I think he'd already made up his mind.
Ó, eu acho que o esquema é fazer isso mesmo, ó. Já teve mais um diálogo ali, uma fala.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Já era pra ele ter caído faz tempo já. Ih! O robô tá girando.
The day he made up his mind to fly.
Ih, caí, saí.
And he did.
Era só ficar se balançando. Eu tava agoniado de ficar naquele balanço. Calvin, 1950 1961. Tem uma imagenzinha ali do Calvin. Tá, ele então morreu caindo do balanço, foi isso?
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
São uns esconderijos bem legais, hein?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Quarto do Milton.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Ah não, tô no quarto da Bárbara. Bárbara e o pé grande.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was
Uma
silent.
chave? Ah, pra abrir o porão. Ah, tô descendo como se estivesse num gibi. Ah, tô tocando a música do Michael Myers. Do Halloween. O filme Halloween.
Scratch and imagine the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman Killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite slashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Sumiu?
Vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. She heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Surprise! Bravo, Barbara!
monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Bom, então é isso aí. Dando aquela conferida na primeira jogatina de EDITH FINCH. O jogo é bem estranho. As mortes dos personagens chegam a ser até ridículas. Mas vamos ver como é que vai ser o final, né? Essa jogatina de hoje vai ficando por aqui. E até a próxima. Valeu, falou, abraço. E até.